Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to my holiday 2019 box office predictions. And today, we're going to be talking about Richard Jewell. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of Richard Jewell. So, let's jump right to it. Pros: the director, Clint Eastwood. Most of you may know who he is, but to give you some context, this dude has been in the business for a long time. He is 89 years old and he is still making movies, which is incredibly admirable. And looking at his track record, ever since the 90s, he's had a decent amount of hits that he directed. We're not going over his acting stuff, just directing. Although sometimes he acts and directs, but whatever. He's had hits such as Unforgiven, Space Cowboys, Mystic River, Million Dollar Baby, Gran Torino. Let's see, looking through these. And the big one, the huge one, American Sniper. You all probably remember how big that movie was a couple years ago. And recently he had Sully and the Mule, which did pretty good. Now he's had some duds, and I will go over those when we get to the cons. But his track record is, for the most part, decent. He's had, a nice, amount of success. So, and he has, pretty good, really good name value. So that definitely helps this movie. Another pro, the reviews are pretty good. They're not amazing, but they're still quite strong. For like awards season and whatnot. But then that's also kind of a con because I'll get to that when we get to the cons because it's a huge con against this movie. Another pro, the cast is pretty solid. I'm looking through this. I mean, you got Sam Rockwell, who's, fan favorite. Kathy Bates, we all know who she is. Olivia Wilde, John Hamm. So you got some good actors in here. So that definitely helps. And yeah, that's about it with the pros. Cons. Clint Eastwood, although I listed all his successes, he's had quite a bit of bombs as well. Now, I'm looking through his history, on a separate screen. He's had Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, neither of which were very successful. He had Invictus, Hereafter, J. Edgar, Jersey Boys, the 1517 to Paris. Does anyone even remember these movies? I mean, I really don't. But yeah, none of those movies were particularly successful, so Clint Eastwood's overall track record is kind of spotty. So that doesn't help. Oh, and another con, a big con, is that this year's awards season is overcrowded. It is ridiculous. I mean, there are just so many movies coming out. And there are a lot of movies that haven't even come out yet that are trying to be awards movies. Movies like Bombshell and Uncut Gems. Yeah, Bombshell, Uncut Gems, Little Women, 1917, Just Mercy. And there are movies that came out before this, like, I don't know, Parasite, Joker, Jojo Rabbit, The Lighthouse, Knives Out. It's way overcrowded and it's very cutthroat. And so a decent amount of these awards hopefuls will fall through the cracks. And I have a feeling this is going to be one of them. Which is, kind of sad, but that's just what happens. And, yeah, like, it's not getting a huge release, not getting a massive amount of publicity, although there was a tiny bit of publicity with how, like, Olivia Wilde's character has kind of been criticized, because, this is supposed to be based off a true story. See right here, based off, the events of the 1996 Atlanta bombing, how Richard Jewell, he saved people, but then the media portrayed him as, like, the guy who did the bomb, and it ruined his life. It's an interesting story. But, yeah, other than that, this movie has no real publicity at all. no real attention, which hurts. So overall, box office opening weekend, I was gonna say 10, but because I looked at early numbers, I'm going to decrease that. I'm going to say 7. 7 million domestic opening weekend. Overall, that's kind of hard because Christmas can be very unpredictable. I don't know, 20 to 30, I think, is a decent enough goal, I think. I don't think that's, too hard to reach. But, yeah. That's Richard Jewell. That's all I had to say about that. Alright, so what do I have to do after this? Like, what's next up on the list? Alright, now we get to the, oh god, Cats. Yes, I can't wait to talk about that. Oh, Rise of Skywalker, that's going to be a good one too. I don't have much to say about Bombshell, though. I guess I have to do Bombshell first because I do it in alphabetical order. And then Cats, then Rise of Skywalker. And then after that, Little Women, Spies in Disguise, and Uncut Gems. And then that's the other 2019. Then we get to like the early part of 2020 where it's stupidly crowded again. I don't know why, but it just is. It's dumb. But yeah. That's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. You want to check out my other predictions. I have a holiday 2019 box office prediction playlist. You can go check all those out. And yeah, that's it. And I am out.